Hello everybody, welcome to another Crack the Sky Productions. Today we're looking at our top 5's ASX Exchange Traded Funds for our daily horizon view, and the date is the 22nd of the 3rd, 2019. Overview of the markets. All Ordinaries up slightly, 0.44%, closed out at 26.80. Healthcare, energy, and consumer discretionaries, utilities, information technology, real estate, financials, consumer staples, industrials, all in the green, most just marginally though. We had some moves up for gold, silver, platinum, so expect to see those in our ETFs. Oil looks to be down. So expect to be seeing people getting out of those ETFs anyway. So our top 5 percentage rises. Today we had ETPMT, which is our physical platinum ETF. So that one's backed by physical platinum in the HSBC Bank in the United States. QR, bit of a rise. We had 2.24%. Q is the ETF's S&P Biotech ETF. RBT Z is our Beta Shares Global Robotics and Artificial Intelligence ETF, up a little bit over 2%, followed up by Tech, which is the ETF's Morningstar Global Technology ETF. So technology looked to be a little bit on people's mind today, the top rises. The last one up there we had was IJH, which is the iShares S&P Mid-Cap 400. That one looks at the mid-cap part of the market there. Moving along. 5% falls for the day today. Let's see what we've got. We've got IZZ, POU, QAU, SSO, and OOO. So IZZ is the iShares China Large Cap ETF. So that one tracks the big companies listed in the China share market. POU is the Beta Shares British Pound ETF. That's a new one for me. We haven't seen that one come across the top 5 anyway. And that invests or tries to gain exposure to the performance of the British pound relative to the US dollar. So pretty similar setup to the USD ETF. QAU is the Beta Shares Gold Bullion ETF, and that invests in physical gold bullion held in the National Bank of Canada. SSO, that's a new one for me too, I'm pretty sure. That is the State Street Spider S&P ASX Small Ordinaries Fund. So that just tracks the performance of the Small Ordinaries Index on the ASX. OOO is our Beta Shares Crude Oil Index ETF. So that's hedged and synthetic. Complicated ETF, that one, very complicated. Moving along now for our top $5 rises, we had IJH, IVV, ETPMPT, IHVV, and VTS. So as mentioned before, the IJH, up 2% or thereabouts. and that is the iShares S&P Midcap 400. Followed up by one of the big guys, we had IVV, iShares S&P 500 ETF. Then we had ETP MPT, which is our ETFs Physical Platinum ETF. And the Physical Platinum is held in HSBC Bank in the United States. So if you're looking for exposure to physical commodities, that's an option for you. IHVV is the hedged version of the iShares S&P 500, and that's hedged to the Australian dollar. There, lastly, we had VTS, which is the Vanguard US Total Market Share Index. So there's a bit of money going into that ETF as well. So that's one of the bigger ones on the ASX. Up next, we had our top 5 dollar falls. IZZ, CETF, VGE, POU, and IEM. So as mentioned before, IZZ is the iShares China Large Cap ETF. Another large cap China focused ETF is CETF, so that's the VanEck Vectors China AMC CSI 300 ETF, and that tracks the largest 300 companies on the China A share market. VGE, similar type of theme. So VGE is the Vanguard FTSE Emerging Markets share ETF, and that has a large exposure to China as well. So the top 3 dollar falls are all China related, emerging markets type thing as well. POU was our beta shares British pound. IEM is the iShares MSCI Emerging Markets ETF, and that's hedged to the Australian dollar. That one has quite a large basket of 21 companies in that index, so you can get exposure to quite a lot of countries through that index. But emerging markets all got a whack today, and also people don't like what's happening with Brexit because the pound got a whack as well. So let's get across the top 5 number of trades now. As usual, expecting to see domination from the larger ETFs in the index. VAS, STW, VIF plus, VGS. As most of us know, VAS is a Vanguard Australia share index ETF, which focuses on the ASX 300. Which is a little bit different to the majority of those ETFs, which look at the ASX 200. STW is a State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 fund. VIF is not a common one, but it's not a new one for the top 5. It's a Vanguard International Fixed Interest ETF that's hedged. So that tracks the returns of the Barclays Global Treasury Index. So some people getting in or getting out. Looks like getting in, the price was marginally up. Followed up by Plus. Plus is the VanEck Vectors Australian Corporate Bond Plus ETF. Then we had VGS. As most people will know, VGS is the Vanguard MSCI Index International Shares. So that one tracks returns of the MSCI World ex-Australia Index. When I last checked, there was about $1.4 billion in that ETF. So it looks like really, if you look at the number of trades, it's actually a quiet day. So nothing over 200, pretty quiet day on the market, really. Taking a look at volume now, our top 5s, we had USD, NDQ, NDQ Plus, IOO and Asia. As most of us know, the USD is our BetaShares US dollar ETF. Volume on that was pretty low, and 219,000 traded. So as you know, look at the number of trades on the previous screen, all pretty low, not a great deal of action today. Friday, whatever, most people seem to be at home or drinking a beer or something, not trading anyway. So NDQ is the BetaShares NASDAQ 100 ETF. Good for one if you want some exposure to the top 100 tech companies on the NASDAQ Plus. As mentioned before, Plus is the VanEck Spectors Australia Corporate Bond Plus ETF. IOO is our iShares Global 100 ETF. That tracks the results of the S&P Global 100 Index. And that ETF's a reasonably large one. It's got roughly $1.5 billion in that one as well. I think that one pays a reasonable dividend as well. So if you're looking for some yield, that one might be worth looking at. We had Asia, which is another relatively common one that we see almost every day. That's the BetaShares Asia Technology Tigers ETF. So that one tracks the top 50 technology and online retail stocks in Asia. Lastly, we have our top 5 value. We have IOO, BAS, VGS, STW, and IVV. So look at IOO, which is our iShares Global 100 ETF. $7.4 million traded today. So not a great deal of volume going through, not a great deal of value, or very low trades as well. So VAS is the Vanguard Australia's share index. Once again, that's pretty low. I've seen bigger volumes for that as well. Sorry, bigger value go through for that as well. VGS, that's the Vanguard MSCI Index International Shares ETF. Number 4 there, we had STW, which is the State Street Spider S&P ASX 200. That one's an interesting one. So it's designed to provide low portfolio turnover, accurate tracking, and low costs. There's about $3.7 billion in that ETF at the moment. Finally, we had IVV, which is the iShares S&P 500 ETF. So low number of trades, low number of volume, and therefore low value gone through today. So quiet day overall. So we're an information setup here. So we're looking to crack your financial sky with information, get everyone familiar with what's the common ETFs that are traded daily. Give us a like, a subscribe. We'll just try to get better at what we're doing. Thank you.